The morning sunlight filtered through the branches, casting gentle shadows on the gathering of disciples near the Bodhi tree. Anand sat at the edge of the group, his face etched with worry, his hands tightly clasped in nervousness. The Buddha opened his eyes slowly, his gaze serene and comforting, as if understanding the unspoken struggles within Anand. "Anand," the Buddha began, his voice like a soft breeze, "your heart carries a burden too heavy for one alone." Anand hesitated but then spoke, his words trembling with doubt. "Master, I fear I am not strong enough for life's trials." The Buddha studied Anand closely, a calm presence enveloping the space as the disciples watched with attentive curiosity. "Strength," the Buddha said, "is not measured by absence of struggle but by the courage to face adversity with grace." Anand looked down, tears pooling in his eyes, as he whispered, "But my fears overwhelm me, paralyze my every step forward." The Buddha reached for a nearby leaf, holding it delicately, and said, "Anand, do you see this fragile leaf here?" Anand nodded, puzzled, his gaze fixed on the trembling leaf held between the Buddha's steady fingers. "This leaf," the Buddha continued, "withstands the wind not by resistance but by swaying in harmony with its force. True strength," the Buddha said, "is born from flexibility, not rigidity, from understanding rather than opposition." Anand furrowed his brow, struggling to grasp the depth of the teaching, his doubt still lingering like a shadow. "Master, how can I find such strength when my heart feels so small? My spirit so easily crushed?" Anand asked. The Buddha motioned for Anand to follow him, walking toward a nearby pond shimmering under the morning light. As the disciples followed, they noticed the pond filled with blooming lotus flowers, their beauty untainted by muddy waters. The Buddha gestured toward the flowers, saying, "The lotus thrives in mud, yet its beauty is a reflection of purity." Anand, our strength blossoms not in perfection but in imperfection, not in ease but in resilience against challenges, Buddha explained. Anand gazed at the lotus flowers, a flicker of understanding beginning to stir within his troubled heart. "Master, I hear your words, yet the weight of my failures and fears feels unshakable," Anand confessed with despair. The Buddha turned to him, his expression unwavering, and said, "Failures are not chains, but stepping stones to greater awareness. Each misstep, Anand, offers a lesson, a chance to grow, a moment to understand the depths of our inner strength." The disciples murmured among themselves, reflecting on their own fears, their struggles mirrored in Anand's vulnerable words. "Your mind is like the sky," he continued. "When you identify with the clouds, you forget the vastness of the sky. Our strength lies in knowing that beneath life's ripples, the core of who we are remains whole and steadfast." Anand's shoulders relaxed slightly as he absorbed the Buddha's words, though doubt still lingered in the corners of his mind. "Master, how can I remember this when fear clouds my vision, when despair takes hold of my thoughts?" Anand asked. The Buddha smiled gently, placing the bowl down, and said, "Through mindfulness, Anand, by returning to the present moment's truth, fear thrives in the future and despair in the past. Your strength resides in the present where neither can exist." Every breath, Anand, is a reminder of life's rhythm, a connection to the source of strength within you, Buddha said softly. Anand closed his eyes, focusing on his breath, feeling the rise and fall of his chest as the Buddha guided him. "Strength," the Buddha continued, "is not something you seek outside yourself. It is a discovery, an awakening of your own essence." Anand opened his eyes, a newfound sense of calm beginning to illuminate his face. His doubt momentarily quieted. The Buddha turned to the group and said, "Each of you carries doubt, fear, but also the seed of unshakable strength. The journey to true strength is not in erasing challenges but in understanding their place as teachers of resilience. Anand bowed deeply, gratitude welling within him as he whispered, "Thank you, Master, for your wisdom and boundless compassion." The Buddha placed a hand on Anand's shoulder and said, "The journey is yours, Anand. I am but a guide." As the disciples dispersed, Anand remained by the pond, his reflection mingling with the ripples, the lotus flowers swaying nearby. In the quiet of the morning, Anand began to sense the faint bloom of strength taking root within his being. The Buddha watched from a distance, his presence like the steady earth beneath the rising sun, ever guiding, ever present. In that moment, Anand knew his path would be long and fraught, but he also knew he was not alone. The Bodhi tree stood tall, its branches sheltering those who sought truth, its roots deep and unwavering like the strength within. The teachings of the Buddha echoed in Anand's heart, each word a thread weaving the fabric of his growing inner resilience. As the day unfolded, Anand sat in quiet contemplation, his breath steady, his spirit beginning to awaken to its own strength. And so, under the gaze of the eternal Bodhi tree, Anand's journey toward understanding true strength had begun. Another day, another sunrise bathed Venuvana in soft hues of gold. As birds chirped softly amid the rustling leaves, Anand stood by the Bodhi tree, his heart still wrestling with uncertainty despite the teachings offered to him before. The Buddha approached with his usual calm, his robes flowing lightly as he stopped near Anand. Sensing the young man's turmoil, "Anand," the Buddha began, his voice steady, "every day dawns anew, offering a chance to embrace your fears and grow." Anand replied, "Master, though I hear your teachings, I struggle to find strength when faced with the reality of hardship." The Buddha gestured toward the horizon, where distant mountains rose majestically, framed by clouds that seemed to kiss their peaks. "Anand," he said, "those mountains have endured countless storms. Yet they stand tall, unwavering in their presence through each passing day. Strength is not found in avoiding the storm but in standing firm, rooted in purpose." Despite its ferocity, Buddha explained. Anand listened closely, but doubts remained, his mind clouded by memories of failure that seemed to overwhelm his heart. The Buddha placed a hand on Anand's shoulder and said, "Come, I have a task that will teach you resilience." Anand followed, his steps hesitant but curious, as the Buddha led him toward a path winding through the forest's embrace. "You will travel to a village," Buddha said, carrying this scroll of teachings to those awaiting its wisdom with open hearts. The scroll was delicate, wrapped in cloth, and Anand accepted it, though anxiety gripped his thoughts at the responsibility bestowed. "Master, what if I fail? What if the journey proves too difficult for me to bear?" Anand asked with trembling words. The Buddha's gaze softened as he replied, "Anand, strength is revealed not in perfection but in effort, in the willingness to try." Anand bowed deeply before departing, his footsteps echoing in the silence as the disciples watched him disappear into the forest. The path ahead was treacherous, with jagged rocks and rushing streams that threatened to halt Anand's progress at every turn. Each step tested his resolve, his spirit battered by challenges that seemed determined to break his will and send him back. As night fell, Anand found shelter beneath a sturdy tree, the scroll kept safe as he reflected on his struggles. "Master's words echo within me," Anand thought, "but can I truly find strength when the journey feels so overwhelming?" The moonlight illuminated his surroundings, its gentle glow providing solace as he drifted into restless sleep filled with dreams of doubt. The next day, Anand pressed onward, his feet blistered, his body weary, but his determination a faint ember that refused to die. At one point, a rushing river blocked his path, its currents fierce, its roar like thunder challenging his courage to proceed. Anand hesitated, fear gripping him, but he recalled the Buddha's teachings, strength lies in persistence. In facing adversity without retreat, he crafted a makeshift raft, his hands raw from the effort, and navigated the river's turbulent waters, his resolve unshaken. Finally, he reached the village, his body spent but his heart relieved, only to discover the scroll had been damaged. Guilt consumed him as he knelt before the villagers, tears streaming down his face as he confessed his perceived failure. The villagers gathered around him, offering words of comfort, gratitude, and appreciation for his effort despite the imperfections in the scroll. Anand was surprised, their kindness reminding him that strength was not in flawless results but in the courage to continue forward. When Anand returned to Venuvana, the Buddha greeted him with a knowing smile, his eyes reflecting the depth of his wisdom. "Anand," the Buddha said, "tell me, what lessons has your journey taught you about strength and the essence of resilience?" Anand recounted his struggles, the moments of doubt and fear, and how he persevered despite the challenges and imperfections faced. "Master, I learned that strength is not in avoiding adversity but in enduring it. In finding hope through each difficulty," Anand said. The Buddha nodded, his approval like the gentle warmth of the sun. As he said, "You have awakened to a vital truth, Anand. True strength is found within, in the seed of resilience that grows through nurturing, love, and unwavering effort." The disciples listened attentively as Anand spoke, their own hearts stirred by the honesty of his experiences and reflections. The Buddha turned to the group and said, "Strength is not a destination but a journey, revealed in every step taken. Each challenge offers an opportunity to learn, to grow, to discover the inner well of strength that sustains you." Anand's gaze turned toward the horizon, where the mountains still stood, their presence now symbolizing the resilience within his own soul. As the sun set, casting hues of crimson and gold across the sky, Anand sat in quiet contemplation near the Bodhi tree. The lessons of the journey etched themselves into his heart, each moment a thread weaving the fabric of his growing strength. The Buddha sat nearby, his presence like the steady earth beneath the stars, ever guiding, ever nurturing the growth of his disciples. In the calm of the evening, Anand felt the faint bloom of strength beginning to take root, a quiet revolution within his being. The teachings of the Buddha lingered like whispers carried by the wind, guiding Anand toward the next chapter of his journey. Another day would come, another opportunity to face life's storms, and Anand now knew he possessed the strength to endure. Under the Bodhi tree's timeless canopy, Anand's heart embraced the truth strength resides within, waiting to be discovered and awakened. Another day, another dawn painted the sky with strokes of amber and rose. As life stirred gently in Venuvana's embrace, Anand sat quietly beneath the Bodhi tree, his gaze distant, his thoughts fixed on the lessons and challenges he had faced. The Buddha approached him, his movements calm and deliberate, his presence carrying the weight of wisdom earned through countless teachings. "Anand," the Buddha said, his voice soothing, "you have walked a path filled with trials, yet your spirit remains steadfast." Anand looked up, his heart lighter than before, yet questions still lingered within, seeking answers to fears unspoken. "Master," Anand began hesitantly, "though I have learned much, the shadow of doubt sometimes darkens the light I feel within." The Buddha studied Anand with compassion and replied, "Even shadows serve a purpose, Anand," reminding us of the sun's presence. Anand furrowed his brow, searching for meaning in the Buddha's words. As the other disciples gathered to hear his teachings, true strength, Anand, the Buddha continued, is not about erasing shadows but about understanding the light they point us toward. Anand nodded slowly, his mind grappling with the depth of the lesson, his heart yearning for clarity amid his doubts. The Buddha gestured toward a stone nearby, worn smooth by years of wind and water shaping its surface gently but persistently. "This stone," Buddha said, endures the touch of time without resistance, allowing its true form to emerge through nature's trials. Just as the stone yields to the elements, so too must we embrace life's challenges to reveal our inner strength. The disciples murmured among themselves, their reflections mirroring Anand's uncertainty and longing to grasp the wisdom before them. Master, Anand asked earnestly, how do I face doubt when it clouds my mind and weakens the resolve I strive for? The Buddha smiled and replied, doubt, Anand, is not an enemy, it is a mirror showing us the places we must explore deeper. Anand pondered the words, his thoughts spinning as he wrestled with the idea that doubt could lead him to growth. The Buddha continued, a traveler may fear the fog, yet within it lies the path that leads to clarity and understanding. To walk through the fog, Anand, is to trust not in what you see but in the strength guiding your steps. Anand's heart felt a flicker of hope as the disciples nodded, the teachings resonating within their minds and spirits alike. The Buddha motioned for Anand to follow him, leading the group toward the nearby forest where life thrived in abundance. In the forest, they encountered a sapling, its leaves green and vibrant, reaching upward despite the rocky soil it grew from. Anand, Buddha said, this sapling reminds us that strength is born from persistence, not conditions, from striving despite life's uneven footing. Anand knelt before the sapling, his hands brushing the leaves as he marveled at its resilience in the face of hardship. You too, Anand, must grow where you are planted, finding nourishment in the wisdom shared and the love that sustains you. Anand reflected on his journey, the trials he had endured, the fears he had faced, the lessons that had shaped his soul. Master, Anand whispered, I begin to see that strength is not avoiding pain but learning to coexist with it. Growing through it, the Buddha nodded, his approval warming Anand's heart like the gentle rays of the sun reaching through the forest canopy. Anand, the Buddha said, each challenge you face is not a wall but a bridge, leading you closer to your true self. The disciples sat in quiet meditation, their breaths steady, their minds focused on the teachings woven into the fabric of life. The Buddha's voice carried like a melody, each word resonating with truth and filling the hearts of those who listened. Strength is not given, Anand, it is uncovered, nurtured, and embraced, like the sapling finding its place in the rocky soil. Anand closed his eyes, his thoughts still, his soul beginning to awaken to the fullness of the truth offered by his master. The Buddha turned to the group and said, each of you carries the seed of strength. It waits only to be discovered. Through love, patience, and effort, that seed will bloom, giving you the resilience to face life's storms without retreat. The disciples bowed deeply, their gratitude evident in their gestures, their hearts stirred by the wisdom gifted to them. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Anand felt the quiet bloom of strength within, steady and certain as his breath. The teachings of the Buddha lingered like whispers, guiding Anand and the disciples toward the awakening that awaited their paths. Another day would come, another lesson would emerge, and Anand now knew that each step would carry him closer to strength. The Bodhi tree stood tall, its branches sheltering those who sought truth, its roots deep and unwavering like the strength within. Under the timeless canopy of stars, Anand sat in reflection, his heart embracing the truth he had journeyed to discover. And so, the seed of strength flourished within him, waiting patiently to bloom fully as life offered its next trial. The Buddha watched from a distance, his presence unwavering, his teachings echoing in the hearts of those who followed his path. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.